Hello. Hi, Mr. Harlin.
Hello, hello. You can call me Ali, so it's not that formal.
Okay, cool. Ollie, thank you for taking this time to talk with me.
Pleasure.
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 Are you in Finland right now?
Yes, I'm I'm on a Finnish countryside, as you can see from the background. So in remote cottage.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, I'm coming to you from Los Angeles.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, so I wanted to give you a little introduction about me and my brand.
Okay.
I have an idea. I have a brand called IRISHLATINA, and I use post-consumer garments to make new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So I source these garments from thrift stores and warehouses, and I don't typically use any of the original design aspects of the post-consumer garment. I use it like I'm creating a new textile from them.
So they are textiles which has been taken out of the use, but they have not ever scrapped or wasted.
Right. So they're
kind of second-hand stuff.
Yeah, secondhand garments that.
Got it. Okay.
I usually find them in a thrift stores or warehouses where I can buy them by the pound.
Okay.
And then I treat them so that I can reuse them. I basically create my own textile with them. It'll make a little more sense. I'm going to share my screen with you and I can show you and maybe make a little more sense to you. So, I'll show you my latest collection. The entire collection is made from post-consumer t-shirts. So I treat them in a way.
So the colors and textures and everything is like they were in the originals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I feature a lot of the graphics that were on the t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I'm turning them into a woven so that I can make bombers and constructed pieces out of them so they're no longer stretch. Bomber jackets and tops, and I quilt on them. Skirts and tops, dresses, overalls. So that gives you an idea.
Okay, yeah, impressive. I got the idea, yeah.
Of what I do with these. Let me go back. So you spoke on Monday to a designer, Neha. She uses, she uses what is like the cuttings of denim, like the yardage before.
Yeah, from productions and so on. So they are like a pre-consumer.
Yeah, the surplus yardage, which is super cool. And she was telling you that for in her idea of ranking of sustainable garments, the most sustainable garment would be the garment that isn't made, right?
Obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. Yeah.
And then after
that, like we cannot make the whole fashion without the garment, so that.
Right. And I think it's an innate human characteristic to want to create things, right? So and something that I struggled with, it's like, well, I want to create, and creating things and creating art brings joy to me and it brings joy to other people. And so I don't want to stop creating, but it's hard to create and not create things and not create waste.
Yeah, and that is really the tricky thing. What is a joy and what brings a joy for a person? Whether it's something what is like some kind of a fireworks, whether it's continuing, or is it something where is say harmonic and even in the worst case stagnated or very slow motion on. So that is a so personal thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. There could be a harmony and a balance, right, between what creating, consuming, and what otherwise we're in the trouble we're in now by just consuming so quickly. but so I think that the reason I've focused this way is because the waste problem is so major. I found a way to feel less guilty about creating by using materials that are headed for the landfill, right? That because we have so much waste. So essentially, upcycling.
So it's a little bit like the last chance to dance for the materials before they are scrapped.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna tell you, there is a thrift store in the U.S. called Goodwill. I get some of
heard about, yeah.
And there's more than 3,200 individual Goodwill stores between like U.S. and Canada. And in 2018, they collected more than 85.7 million pounds of textiles in 2018. So what the Goodwill does is once they put a garment on the floor, it has 4 weeks to get sold. And if it isn't sold, it's headed to the outlet where you can buy it by pound. And if you make it there, it goes to auction, bid on a bin that maybe get like a big bin for $35. You don't know what's in it, but you know, you're taking the risk.
Is it classified in any ways according to the color or the material or anything, or is it just a spot?
It's random, and it's probably geared towards people who are going to resell.
Yeah, because like there is a company like Soex in Germany, where is like purchasing out also lots of used garments, but they are collected according to color or type.
Yeah, that would be helpful because then at least you know if you're looking for something.
Yeah, at least you know that whether it's a blue denim or it's a colored t-shirts or something.
Yeah, totally. No, that's interesting. I should look into that to see if they are. But then so if it doesn't get sold at the auction, 45% of it is sent back into the U.S. Clothing industry or sent overseas. Then 30% gets cut into rags, and 20% is processed into insulation or fiber filling for furniture and things like that. And then 5% goes to landfill. So, you know, 5% doesn't seem that bad, but it's adding up.
So you're saying that it's not incinerated at all?
Not from what I can see. No, it just that 5% that doesn't make it through all those steps.
Yeah, because that is the big difference. So the split is pretty much the same in Europe, but in Europe the last part is incinerated and turned to energy.
Okay.
It's not going to landfill. It's like burnt and they collect the heat to heat the water or something. So
and there's no negative impact though on.
Of course, there is a CO2 emission.
Okay, but it's still.
But then it's replacing something other fossil fuel.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like not good anyhow to burn anything, but like. Yeah.
You're getting some energy, some benefit out of it.
Yeah. Yep.
So I wanted to know. So I know you work for Affinited Fiber Company in Finland. And so it allows textile waste to be used again and again, right? Preserving the quality. But so how does this work? Can you explain to me through the process that I took you? Are you guys taking?
So very simply so that we prefer a cotton-rich fraction because we have a technology to dissolve the cotton.
Okay.
And then the dissolved cotton is spun back to a fiber, which properties are pretty much the original.
But so it has to be. Are you only working from a 100%?
No. It can be mixed, but of course it come more and more inefficient or uneconomic if there is a more blended in. But like the elastane or spandex, as you call it in US, has not been a problem. So we can scope with say polyester blends, etc. So that we are just melting or say dissolving the part we want by time.
Okay, but are you taking these? Are you taking post-consumer garments? Are you taking scrap off the cutting floor?
Yes. The bottom of the barrel kind of thing.
Okay, so you can use any.
So like when it's no good anymore to mechanically recycle it, it's just perfect for us. So typically, as you know, so that you can make a new clothes out of the old garments, but the textile quality is not necessarily the best possible. One way is that you can mechanically open the textile structure and have fibers out there, but you destroy the strength of the fiber in certain level. Of course, it's very economical and very eco-friendly way to make it mechanically. But even we have a dust after this open carding, we can utilize it for dissolving and spinning a new fiber because the molecules are still intact.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, because in this process that I was telling you through the good
So
will,
it's like the 3 levels. Say you have the garment level, you have the fiber level, and then you have the molecular level. And I'm digging down to the molecular level.
Yeah, way down there. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's because I'm chemist nerd, so that I do what I can.
Yeah, right. No, we need you.
Thanks.
No, that's great because there's like through this process, the clothes that are damaged or those are the ones we can't put back into circulation, right? Or we can't sell. And so you can work with those ones too. So rather than sending them to the ground, to the landfill.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a phoenix bird, so that reborn of the fiber. And you can even make the fibers without taking the colors out, but then you are repeating the color of the fabric in the new fibers. So you can let the color come through, but typically we are taking it away because most of the say designers are willing to design the color precisely. Of course, in Finland we don't have pretty much of the problem because this is heavy music country, heavy rock country, so that black is black.
Yeah. But you're saying that you can do it so it's blank, so that a designer could dye it themselves and.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we can say bleach it down to the white, and then you can decide the color, whatever quality. And the fiber quality, if you compare it, it's on the level of modal or cotton.
Okay. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. Of course, it's a little bit say more heavier than cotton because it don't have the lumen. So cotton is like hollow in the middle. Yeah. So because we are not creating the hole in spinning, so it's kind of a little bit more silky in that way. So higher drape, but the feel and looks is like cotton. I can make it totally shiny if you wish, but like typically we have tried to copy the cotton looks and feel and touch.
Is it gonna last longer?
Not longer, but not less, so that it typically lasts what the comparable fibers do, so that 50 washing is okay.
Now you're also talking with Niha, you were saying that we need to be making clothes like we make working clothes. right? Like quality.
Definitely. So what I'm a believer is a one word, it's quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like solving the most of the problems I can ever imagine around the say consumption. So if we make under quality, so nobody is not willing to reuse it or repair it, or it's very difficult to recycle mechanically if it's absolute scrap from
Oh
the
yeah,
beginning.
it's impossible to repair your clothing if it's not made well, right? Because it's just trash. It's
Yeah,
trash.
if so, it's scratching, it's linting, it's tearing in parts. It's no sense to use all the hours and effort you have to put to make it. So in this business, we have to understand there is no thing like alchemy. So we don't have the philosopher's stone. Even the Harry Potter seems to have it, but we don't have it.
But even when they're making clothes quickly in the fashion industry, sometimes they don't even backstitch, which means they're not securing the stitch. So
Mm-hmm.
clothing falls apart after one wash, or maybe while you're wearing it, because it's not made to last. It's
Yeah.
made to fall apart. So you will go get something else, right? But the thing
Totally unethical, but let's not dig in that. So we
Yeah.
cannot find an argue on it, because it seems that we are have the same opinion on it. So that.
But yeah, there is ethics to fashion, 100%. Yes. But so the thing is, with quality comes extra cost, right? We can't expect to get a quality garment for the same price that we're getting these fast fashion garments.
What is a cost and what is a price, and what is the cost of a surprise? So, like if you there is my colleague Kirsi Niinimäki. She's a professor in Aalto University, and she has calculated the cost of one usage of different qualities of the clothes.
Okay.
And if you have the cheap fast fashion, the actual cost for one use is higher than if you purchase something which is a quality.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And that is the basic reason why that the companies are willing to push through the scrap, because that is more turnover, that is more a profit, because the profit is gaining in the end of the value chain, and in that way you want to push through more of the mass
Yeah.
to maximize your income.
Right. You don't want
It's
customer,
exactly like in a food industry.
yeah. Well, you don't want
Not
your
yeah.
customer to buy like a nice pair of jeans and have, I mean, even with the smartphones, right? You don't want those to last forever. You don't want the product to last forever, because then your consumer's not going to buy another one.
Yeah, but you could like take a fair price of it.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys who make the quality products and have a brands, it seems that they are not doing so badly. But of course, the most richest guys in the business are the guys who are in a fast fashion.
Yeah, and that's where ethics comes in again.
Yeah, and then we are turning to politics, and let's not go there.
Yeah. But so I would like, because I think fast fashion has ruined the consumer, right? We believe that we deserve to have an inexpensive garment. We believe we should be able to walk into a fast fashion retailer and walk out with a bag full of clothes for $50, and it's really hard for us to understand spending more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we think, and not everyone loves a deal. I love to get a good deal, but you have to think, if it's so cheap, someone didn't get paid. Someone somewhere along the line
Mm-hmm.
didn't get paid. So I would love for mentality of the consumer to shift to actually, you know, maybe save money for that garment or invest in special pieces. But it's difficult because we're so programmed to think that we deserve to get cheap, inexpensive clothing, right?
Yeah, something $1.99 and so on. Yeah.
And so maybe shifting, you know, quality over quantity, maybe less, but better, so you can hold on to it longer. And that does mean spending more money for quality, spending more money for things that maybe you even like more. You're going to wear more.
Yeah. And that is now taking the discussion among the designers more and more on the rental textile and loaning the textile and possibility to change the clothes rapidly. And even if you go in that business, you have to have a high quality clothes that they sustain that wearing. What happens if it's borrowed several times?
Totally.
Yeah. So any way we want to solve the problem, the quality is in the focus. The second question is that who is going to pay the quality and in which kind of portions you have to pay the quality. Either you use it for long times and it lasts for time, or then you can say share it with others.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea, right? If we, you know, maybe we love to have lots of clothes, or we love to switch it up often, and you know, sure, you shouldn't. I don't think anyone should be forced to have the same 5 T-shirts for the next 15 years. And as a creator, I want people to purchase what I'm doing. I think what is great about what I'm doing is that you can purchase old and new at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, renting and kind of shifting that mentality. I think that's awesome. Now, do you see, so what you are doing in Finland, do you see that anywhere else in the world happening? Like, I don't think that's happening in the US. Do you know?
So many things what happens down in the US will happen in Europe and will happen in Finland. So we are not in isolated bubbles, but so depends. It depends who you are asking.
The textile recycling that you are doing in Finland, do you know that that's happening?
So that kind of discussion is also ongoing in Sweden, increasingly now in Japan, what was a surprise. So they have been very interested. German, Netherlands particularly. Netherlands is very, very interested on it. But I would say it's kind of a Nordic concept.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys do seem to be pioneers. I mean, look at Helsinki Fashion Week and being pioneers with sustainable fashion.
You know, we are a little bit, say, how you call it, off-centric or something like that.
That's great. Someone's got to lead the way. Why not you guys? Yeah. And how long have you been doing this? You worked in the fashion industry.
So my history is a little bit in twofold. So that I started with petrochemicals something like nearly 30 years ago. And then I work with a company, Nokia, which you might have heard about.
Yeah.
And then I get fed off that I was traveling all around in Far East, and I decided to stay at home preferably, and I switched totally the branch, and I found myself as a textile professor in Tampere. It was quite a bungee jump. First it was a really jump in dark, but it was really a bungee jump. So it pulled me back up. So and that I have been now doing something like, say, around 2000. So nearly, okay, nearly 20 years.
Oh. And why?
So,
why? I don't know. Why fashion? I mean, why? I guess. Did you end up?
So by chance, it just happened. So fashion picked me up. I did not pick the fashion. So
sometimes fashion comes to you. Yes, it happens. It
yeah.
chooses you.
But I see that it has happened for you as well. So
I couldn't avoid it. I couldn't run from it. It's chosen me for life. But
okay.
This is so talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, and I hope all the best and keep the light on.
Yes, thank you so much. I will.
Okay, take care. Bless you.